Hello, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Civilization 6 Gathering Storm in our brand new Carthage series. This is my first time playing and or recording the game in just the release build, the same one everyone else has right now. Hope you guys are having a great time playing so far, and I'm certainly looking forward to hearing from more of you. I've heard from a few already, and good things so far. I'm sure the complaints will start to surface from things that we can nitpick before long, but for now, we are going to continue in this early Carthage series, this early Phoenicia series, and we have a lot to talk about as we begin this episode. Before I talk about what's going on in the series, I do want to continue my tradition of covering some of the new features that have been added in Gathering Storm. And in this episode, I want to talk about the build queue, which is a unique item in the list that I've been covering so far, because this is not unique, actually. It's unique because it's not unique to Gathering Storm. It's not exclusive to Gathering Storm. If you own Civilization 6 and or Rise and Fall, you got the build queue added to your game for free. And by the way, I've published a video on the channel covering that patch in its entirety from top to bottom. Minimal commentary. I mean, I provided context in a few spots and kind of thought out loud in a few others just to kind of wrap my head around what some of the things we're saying to help people who are listening understand and provide my own perspective. But it's not meant to be a commentary video. It's meant to be just kind of, here is the full list of changes that we all got to download regardless of whether we own this expansion yet. And that video is linked on your screen right now. And one of the things mentioned on that list is the build queue. So now that we have the build queue in Civilization 6, notice it's very subtle when you click it, when you click away from the production tab and go down to queue, it shows in parentheses how many items you have queued up at the moment. So right now we have 3 items queued up. One thing that's kind of funny is that it does allow you to, hang on, queue things multiple times at present. You can right click to remove things from the queue. So I'm sure that will be tweaked at some point. Or maybe there's a function to that I'm not quite thinking of right now. But I have to say that even more than the build queue, and I've mentioned in the game that I'm not particularly big on queuing a lot. I might be now that I finally have it, but I'm so used to not having it that I like making the decisions kind of on the fly. That's also more interesting in a Let's Play for sure. But the multi-queue is actually my favorite addition. Check this screen out. Yes, it's not very busy right now because we just have 2 cities. And we're going to talk about that in a second when we start talking about the series. But this is a complete list of every build queue for every empire, or every city in your empire. And you can sort them by when they were founded, what their name is, what their population is. So you can sort them by your biggest cities, your first cities. It's just awesome. And you can, of course, manage the queues. You can also click on individual items in the queue and move things around. So it's just amazing to see what you can do at a glance in terms of managing a large empire. If you're wondering, by the way, what these buttons are, they're not related to the queue, but they do allow you to scroll quickly to other sections of the build menu, which is very, very nice, because sometimes scrolling all the way down to the projects, whether you're using your mouse wheel or using the scroll bar, can be a little bit tedious towards the end game when you've got a lot of cities to manage and you have a long list of buildings and maybe units that you haven't built yet in a given city. Well, units are always going to be there, but if you have a city that is new and has all of its options available to it, you've got to scroll way down to get to the projects list. Now there's just a button you can click, which is really cool. So let's jump in with a couple of introductory notes. Otherwise, it was pointed out a couple of things that I had started to think about as I was getting towards the end of the last episode came up in commentary. First of all, we definitely don't want Rome to go all Carthago delenda est. By the way, if you didn't notice the jersey system in effect, because we already have this kind of purple and blue scheme, the game made Rome more of a traditional Roman red and gold instead of purple and gold, which is cool. So that's a new mechanic in Gathering Storm as well. But we want to make sure that we have some other cities down here before Rome starts settling further towards us, or just conquering other city-states. They already have Kumasi. We're going to have to free Kumasi at some point, but our first step is going to have to be settling some coastal cities. That's taking advantage of our unique ability as Dido, or rather as, is it Dido or is it? No, this is just Phoenicia's ability. So coastal cities founded by Phoenicia and located on the same continent as the Phoenician capital are 100% loyal. So we can take advantage of that loyalty pressure by founding 2 or 3 coastal cities down here. And we have some good opportunities and a lot of space with which to do so. So we're going to try to make that happen. We have 3 turns until this settler is done. However, I can purchase units with faith, lest we forget. I'm going to go ahead and purchase a settler right now, which also will improve the growth time on this city a little bit since we just dropped a pop. And that way we already have a settler that is ready to move down this direction. I think, yeah, that's a perfect tile because that's Plains Hills. It's got some wheat 2 tiles away. It's not on the floodplains. Ivory is within reach. Amber and fish are within reach. And we have some other resources nearby that if we have a second city along the river back here, it might be on floodplains, but it would have access to a lot of good resources as well. So we're going to go ahead and give the order for a settler to go to that spot right now. And we're going to hold down the fort with that warrior for sure. We need to choose a civic. I think I'll go for games and recreation over theology. I might go ahead and queue these. No, I won't queue it. Don't need that. Let's just do games and recreation. But I want the entertainment complex as an option now that I'm going to be focusing in the next 2 or 3 episodes on, getting those cities built. So if we have sudden amenity problems, I want to be able to build an entertainment complex in the cluster of cities that we will soon have down here. The other thing I wanted to mention is we might not actually get to build our canal here. This was still a good exercise in the kind of thinking that you can employ to place a city that could have a canal district leading out to the ocean. But in this case, we have 3 tiles that are either hilly or lined with rocks. And that might, I haven't gotten to a point in Gathering Storm yet where I can build canals, so that might prevent us from building the canal. If it doesn't, we'll be fine, because we'll be able to use that tile right there where the barbarian spearmen are. But I'm still satisfied with this city overall because we are near some mountain ranges, we're near some jungle. This is going to be a great campus city, and it's on a Plains Hills tile, so it's got 2 production and 2 food, the same way as our capital does. So I'm not complaining whatsoever about having founded Lipiqui where I did. It'll be okay. We will survive. I'm going to skip the Bireem's turn. Also, speaking of the Bireem, I've got 203 gold. Aha, yeah, I haven't gotten that boost yet. Of course I haven't, because I haven't gotten my second galley. We don't have galleys, we have Bireems. But I'm going to go ahead and buy, as tempted as I am to, buy another type of unit with which to fight, I really want that boost, because that gave us the boost towards shipbuilding. That's going to be done in 9 turns now. And this will allow all land units, including our settlers, to embark. That'll turn our settlers into the super settlers that we all know that they can be. And that is, that's also the Mediterranean colonies bonus. So Dido's ability is the ability to move her capital. So maybe when we found Carthage, when a city randomly gets named Carthage, or if we really like the placement of one particular city and we decide to call it Carthage, we might move the capital there. But we can strategically move our capital as long as we have the production and the kind of spare time in the city to do it. We can move our capital as long as there's a Kothon built. We can move it wherever, and we're about to get access to the Kothon as well. So let's go to the next turn, see what happens. Alexander's moving some ships around. Oh, hello. All right, I just heard 2 things. I heard a barbarian encampment spawn, and I saw that quadrireme appear. Okay, so we got some Iriscore for discovering celestial navigation.
Is a tall ship and a star to steer her by.
Excellent. So we now can build lighthouses. We can build the Kothon first, and then we'll build lighthouses. But we can also build the Great Lighthouse, and I would really like to try and get that Wonder, because +1 movement for all naval units is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then, of course, traders having the ability to embark is a happy thing, too. Let's go ahead and go for shipbuilding for reasons I was just discussing. Now, okay, this is a bit of a problem. Tell you what, I don't like this situation all of a sudden. With a second quadrireme having appeared. How can I handle this? Yeah, let's back you off. See, this archer's promotable, but I hate doing this. I hate this so much because you can't gain experience when you're waiting on a promotion, but we need that firepower since this archer's weakened. Let's go ahead and use it. Alright, we have a second Bireem, of course, which I'm going to send out that way, do a little bit more sea scouting. I can always do more with this one as well, but I like keeping an eye on whatever Alexander might be sending down my way over the water. We are, it looks like, in the countdown towards the medieval era. Look at that. So I think we're going to have a Kothon before we reach the end of the age. So I don't think we're going to go into a dark age, but a golden age is much more unlikely at this point. Okay, we have the option of buying a... We're only going to have these for so much more longer. So, that was a weird way to say that, but you know what I meant. Yeah, we're probably going to need to do... Well, there's not much we can do with the woods there. We can chop them down. That might be worthwhile. Let's go ahead and get a builder in Lipikui. Alright, archer units available for a promotion, I know. Let's go to the next turn. I didn't want these guys to be able to do... Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a pain. I don't like this. The warrior's too weak at the moment. I'm going to have to back all of my units off from killing this barbarian encampment because I don't have a way... I don't want to risk losing any of my units. And if I were to swap the position of these two units, it would put my archer in harm's way. The spearman might get a little frisky. Or a new unit like a horseman. Well, not a horseman, but like a warrior might spawn. So what we're going to have to do... Could I move you all the way down? No, I can't. Yeah, we're just going to have to back them way the heck off. They won't be able to fire on me at that point, at least. And I also have this warrior ready to join the fray. That'll help. Okay, so we can build a Kothon here, but again, I don't necessarily know that we're going to be able to benefit from a Kothon. Now, having one of those will allow me to possibly build the Great Lighthouse in here, which is kind of funny to think about. But I think what I would rather do... Especially since we lost Kumasi. Well, we're not going to do a theater square yet, but a campus district. Yeah, see? This is also, we're near a volcano here. So, let's experiment a bit. I'm going to buy that tile because it's an excellent tile. Yeah, it's not much better there. And we're not in range. Well, there could be a catastrophic eruption that'll still damage this campus district, but we're going to go ahead and put a campus down there. And let's also put Lipikui on food focus. It's not helping it right now, but eventually that'll help the city focus more on growth. And we're going to chop down these woods. And there we go. We got 3 free turns on that campus as a result. I really wish I could get a Byreme in there to just take those guys out. That's so frustrating. All right. That's right. We do have an encampment over here. I remember hearing that noise now when I was noticing the second quadrireme. All right, so I saw that right away. We've got to make sure that that is taken care of. Assuming there are no armies spawning, this one warrior should be able to take that camp out on his own. Famous last words, maybe, but nonetheless. All right, 2 turns away from our second settler. And of course, we could also do another builder here, which is probably a good idea in Tyre. But the thing is, it's all hill tile, and that would reduce the value. Eventually, there are going to be districts here. Yeah, I don't know if it's worthwhile to use my faith on that. I might save it up for like a trader, if I get access to that before the end of the age. So, let's not do anything there. All right, you need to heal. Well, you all need to heal. Yeah, let's just have them fortify up until they're completely ready. Alright, this archer is promotable. +1 range strength versus naval units and land units. Okay. Now the question is, do I keep chopping? I kind of want to. See, that's not in my territory yet. It will be in a few turns, though. So I think I'm just going to keep the builder there and eventually chop. Yeah. Ooh, if Nazca's also helping to take this barbarian encampment out, that will be an easy solution. Rome is expanding, adding the new settlement of Setia. Where? I'm glad that we found that out, and I'm glad that I can't see Setia. Although there's a city right there, I'm guessing that's Setia. That's my theory. Alright, we're going to pay these guys a visit. Rome does have some archers in play nearby, so this encampment might get cleared by someone other than me, which is just rude. But we'll make do. Okay, so I don't have the option because of how few citizens I have in Tyre to get a new district yet, including a government plaza, which makes me so sad. But that does justify my getting a few more units in the field, and we could potentially benefit from having, for instance, a heavy chariot in play, just so we have one of those units starting off. Let's go ahead and do that. And then, where else? All right, so this is going to be a coastal city down here. Our next coastal city, I would think... Should we go ahead and do our inland city next, because it's closer to Tyre? That might be the best thing to do. This is a plains tile here. Grassland Hills, Plains Hills. This is technically a good location for one. It's not on floodplains. We've got foxes nearby. It would kind of be a buffer for the capital. I like that idea, and the settler would also be able to get there relatively quickly. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, you stay there. Let's go to the next turn. We are soon to be 6 turns away from the medieval era in 320 BC. Sooner or later, we'll find a way to get the calendar synced up with what's actually happening in the tech tree, guys. Sooner or later. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Okay, I think I can purchase that tile now. Yes, I can. Let's go ahead and do that. Nice. So we got some era score for that. And we definitely... See, yeah, we need the era score from... Yeah, that got cleared. We need the era score from the Cothone to avoid a Dark Age. If we got in a Dark Age, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's not the end of the world to get in a Dark Age. In a lot of ways, it can be positive. Dark Ages can be fun. So I don't necessarily worry about it or feel like I've failed. Because the developers don't want you to think that way about a Dark Age. So could we just do a Cothone in Lipicui? It would be a bit of a gamble because I might not be able to do much with such a district in this city, but it would still give me bonuses. It would still benefit me in terms of... I need to spread my religion to Lipicui so I can purchase a library with faith. Yeah, I think I do need to do this. I think it makes too much sense. Let's put the Cothone... yeah, let's put it by that rock wall. I like that idea. Yeah, that's very nicely nestled. I love that. Okay, let's move this warrior up here to protect where our other settler is going, just in case. Speaking of that, I'm also going to move this warrior down here. We don't need all of those units to finish off the barbarian encampment. Just the ones we have in play. Especially now that the naval combat bonus is in effect. Aha! Hey, Cyrus. It's an honor to meet you. So we are, wherever we met him, we are far away from either of our capitals. So we could exchange information on our capitals, which, let's go ahead and do that. All right, barbarians approach. Yeah, I know. It's a problem. That unit is almost healed, taking its sweet time. I suppose if I put you in friendly territory, that might help a bit. That does help, right? It's not something I pay a lot of attention to. It's a kind of a fine detail, but I'm pretty sure it does. All right, we are 1 era score away. Surely we will discover or accomplish something. Maybe just the settling of these new cities will get us the era score that we need. All right, I think I will go ahead and build a mine there. Oh good, our knowledge of apprenticeship has advanced considerably. We're 2 turns away from shipbuilding and having super settlers. Oh good, you were dumb enough to get close to my archer. So we can start getting rid of that boat. And frankly, I think we can go ahead and risk moving that one up so we can just knock it out and be done with it. Awesome. All right, we have just spared ourselves a dark age. The citizens of Ziz adjust to their new home and keep wary eye on the nearby river. Actually, they don't, because again, we are not on floodplains at the moment. So if the Jordan River floods, which is the river that we're on, so the Orontes here, and then the Jordan River starting back here, it looks like a spring. We don't have to worry about Z's being affected. If we have districts placed, then we will. But this, of course, gives us access to horses, too. So very happy to see that. Okay, so... yeah, I mean, Carthage is a naval power. I want to have a Kothon in as many cities as possible. This is not really going to be a campus city or even a holy site city. I think the smart thing to do here would be to build an encampment once we have the gold for it. We don't at the moment. So it's really just a matter of, like, getting the monument up as a start. Okay, we've hit an ice barrier down here, it seems, which makes me sad. What do you think of this? All right, so they want me to give up all of my diplomatic favor, and they're going to give me 1 horse, marble for 30 turns, and 2 gold per turn for 30 turns. Ha! No, Cyrus. No, no, no. But he does like me, which is good. Cyrus, by the way, is all the way up there. Pasargadai. His color scheme is slightly different as well because we're in the game.
A plank between a sailor and eternity.
The jersey system is working quite well.
Bread is the first necessity of life. Recreation is a close second.
Okay, wasn't expecting to finish both of those at once. Very nice. So now that we have access to that, we will finally have our super settlers, and they, you might see before the end of this episode, it is insane what they can do. So let's go ahead and we do need commercial hubs as soon as possible, but I want to make sure that I can take advantage of those horses that I have nearby, just in case Rome gets any funny ideas. So let's go ahead and go for horseback riding. Also, well, let's do ironworking first, because we already have iron. And then horseback riding next. I'm going to work on annihilating these guys. If we still haven't cleared this encampment by the end of this episode, I'm going to be so annoyed. That second quadrireme spawning when it did was so problematic. All right, so let's go for theology next so that we can have the temple as soon as possible, and apostles and inquisitions and such. Yeah, we definitely want to train another settler in Tyre, or do we want to go for... See, if we train another settler, then we will, unless Magnus gets his next promotion, which he might... we won't necessarily... hang on, if we put you on growth focus, what changes? Nothing? Okay, production focus actually makes the city shrink. If we train another settler, we will lose another citizen, which we need 7 population in order to get our government plaza. So how close are we? We're actually exactly 7 tiles away, or 7 turns away from another governor title. Going to be 15 turns before that, though. So, I mean, either way, we're not going to have that settler soon. What to do? I kind of want to just train more military units in Tyre, to be completely honest. But you know what? Let me do what I said I would do. We need to train another settler. It's going to make it awkward for getting the government established, but we need cities down here, period. That needs to happen. All right, heavy chariot. All right, so yeah, I forgot that the settler had already left the area, had already left Tyre, so we won't see the super settlers this episode, but we will very, very soon, regardless, I think, because we have more coming. I'm going to put the Byreme in Z's just as a way of saying, this city is defended, Rome, you really shouldn't attack it. All right, surprise, surprise, the Byreme, or the Quadrireme is after... oh, nice. So we got the Kothon. Our knowledge of mathematics has advanced considerably. That was fast. We'll see if we get a lighthouse done in 7 turns. Then, hang on. Yeah, let's go and do a missionary. I need to get my religion spread out that direction. If we get a lighthouse, then we will have an additional trade route cap. Notice, by the way, we are making 2 iron per turn, so we have a cap of 33 in our stockpile. I don't know what exactly sets the cap, but that's what we're working with at the moment. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for a granary there first. And let's definitely go ahead and say goodnight to our good friend, the quadrireme. We'll play through a few more turns here before I end this episode, because I would really like to see if I can get up there and finish those guys off. Fingers crossed. Alright, so they've arrived on the tile that I was liking for them. Let's go ahead and found the city of I-Nuke. I was kind of worried that would be Carthage. That's not exactly a great location for like Carthage. Carthage, I think, has to be a coastal city. Let's get a monument going, first and foremost. One of the reasons I go for monuments first every time is that they provide an immediate culture boost as soon as you have them, which of course will help you for the rest of the game. So as soon as you can get those culture points, the sooner in the turn structure, the better. Oh, hey! So it looks like the Orontes River did in fact flood, but it flooded outside of our territory. So this did make some of the tiles more fertile, which we'll look at right here. So now some of these are 2 food tiles, whereas before they were 1. And how long does that last? I don't know. 2 tiles gained fertility. If I go to the... Well, no, I can't make that cinematic play again. I'm wondering if I were to hover over the little icon that's referring to those things. I'm wondering if that would show me how long the bonus lasts. Let's see. No, not fertility rights. Okay, well, we'll figure that out at another point. Let's go ahead and get our warrior headed up towards that barbarian encampment. We are going to end them while we can. Okay, I would like this city to convert first, so let's have the missionary head up that direction. The trader has completely established a road between these cities, so movement through this wooded area shouldn't be as bad. Looks like we are getting some help. Well, that's incredibly rude. I wanted to clear that encampment myself. I mean, Granada cleared it, so thanks, Granada.
Iron ore
But
cannot be educated into gold.
I kind of wanted the... I'm so frustrated. I spent 2 episodes trying to kill that encampment, and then Granada came in at the last second after not helping at all the entire time with like 2 warriors and killed it. Okay, so swordsman is available. Oh wow, we finished 2 at the same time again, twice in one episode.
Mensuration and astronomy without mathematics, or exact iron making without chemistry.
Indeed. Okay, so policy-wise, anything worth changing? I would say probably not. Let's go ahead and keep everything as it is. Rome is in a golden age, as is Persia. Speaking of that, all right, I think we should do Exodus of the Evangelists. We're about to convert 3 different cities, so let's go for that. We'll get some era score for spreading our religion. I'm going to send a delegation to Persia. Spend a little bit of gold to do that. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode here now that we don't have a barbarian encampment to kill. I was really looking forward to that game. That was mean. So, oh, there's also a drought happening up near Persia. Poor Cyrus. You can see, actually, near Pasargadae where there are drought tiles that have arisen. Major drought for 3 more turns. So some of the tooltips do show you how long some of the storm effects will last, but as far as the fertility effects, I don't know if it's temporary or permanent or what the deal is. From everything that I've heard, everything that I understand so far about the discussions on the live streams and such of the fertility bonuses is that they are temporary. They don't last forever, but you get a certain number of turns where you benefit from, whatever farms you have on those tiles using those things. But I could be wrong. Might be permanent, and I've just misunderstood. So let's see. We need 13 iron and 55 gold to promote this swordsman, or to upgrade this warrior to a swordsman. Let's do that. We're going to need more gold to do it for this one, but we definitely want to do that, and that'll help us defend against Rome, for sure. We're going to have Lipicui converted to our religion by the end of the next episode. But like I said, I'll stop this one here, and in the next one, we're going to work on establishing probably 2 more cities down this direction, and then maybe starting a bit of a Punic war with Rome, because this is Carthage, and why wouldn't we, right? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day still. for at 10 a.m. until maybe episode 10 or so. We'll see. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.